Welcome everyone to our third lecture. So in last two lectures we have talked about a lot of things, and if you have any questions on them you can post your questions in the WeChat group. So today is our third lecture, but before that I want to recap on last lecture, I think, in which we talk about the first 6 pages of your thesis. Among them I think the table of contents was the most hard section, which might need you to do some practice before you implement them in your thesis. But I think you should work with your table of contents at the very end of your thesis, because to make the table of contents, you need to have all the chapters ready and all the headings ready. Otherwise, you might end up getting some errors like this error bookmark not defined. So start the table of contents at the very end of your thesis. Don't need to stress on this now. If you later face problem, you can ask in the WeChat group. I may upload any other videos or arrange another class. So in today's lecture, we'll be basically talking about three things. How to format the equations. If you're maybe from engineering background, engineering major, you will have equations. And then sometimes economic students and also have some equations they need to write in their thesis. So there are certain format for equations and for table, which we use only three-line table in thesis. So how to make a three-line table, and then how to correctly format the equation, as well as we have also this figure formatting lesson, how to write the captions for table and figure, and how to properly adjust the size and format of the picture or figure. So, and the following lecture will be about references. So today at first we start with how to format the equation. So I hope you already have the thesis template I provided in the WeChat group. So if you see in page 11 or 12, you will find a lot of equations and how they are formatted correctly. If you notice, all the equations are formatted in italic style, and they have certain sizes, and also you see like the alignment and the indentation they are given. Equations are in center and the numbers are very rightly aligned, right? So how do we do that? If you see like the slide, it has some regulations to be used. Like mathematical parameters should be in italics. So all the equations should be in italic, and then font should be Times New Roman 10.5. And if you refer your equation, let's say sometimes in text you have to use like in equation 1.1, this. So that time you have to use equation reference like this, equation 1.1, and give a plus stop. And also equation number should be right hand side just like this, and equation should generally not be bold, so this should be just like normal text, not bold. So let's see how to make like this. So for that we use a draft file. So to insert the equation, you at first go to a table, create three column, and then here, I guess you know how to write the equation, so just maybe we use Newton's formula. If equal, you can insert like this, or just go to insert and then equation if to and it's very easy. Or if you like, maybe we can still use another one. Go to equation equal m, and then c square. For that we use script c and then square. So now we have the equation, and then we know that it should be 10.5, and 10.5 we can directly write it here 10.5, and then font should be Times New Roman, and the number, it should be 1.1 in the first bracket, and you make it right, select the text and send it right. Now we need to hide the table. For that we go to select the table and then go to table design and make it no border. From the border, no border. So now it became like this, perfect. From this to this is how all the equations should be look like. So this is for the equation. I think you should do some practice on this. Now for the table, there are also some things like the text inside table should be 10.5 Times New Roman, and sometimes some professors or your supervisor might say they should be aligned center, not right or left. So just follow your professor on that. And the table caption should be on top. Table caption means like this one, table 3.2. You see table 3.2 and then the caption. For figure it should be down, but for table it should be top. And sometimes depending on your supervisor, it might be he might suggest that maybe it should be table, like the whole spelling, not any short, tab. So use table or tab, and then the chapter number. It should be maybe first chapter if the table is in, then use 1.1, 1.2. So the first number is your chapter number, and then the 2 is actually the table number. In that chapter, if you have just first, this is the first table, then you use 3.1. If this is the second one, then 3.2, like that. Same case for figure. Figure, then chapter number, then the figure number. So let's see how we can make a three-line table like this. If you notice carefully, like these ones, white and this one's white is not same. So the table first and then the third line, they have a certain thickness and this one has different thickness. So let's make them. So for that, I prepared a table. I think you know how to prepare a table. From insert, you go and based on your requirements of row and column, you make a table, right? So we just took some demo text. So to make it according to our thesis format, so to make it a three-line table, at first we have seen that the first line and then the third line should be like little thicker than the second line. So for that, we select the first row and then go to table design. We have to select the style, this one and a half pt, this thickness. Remember this, for first and last line we use this one and a half. Select that and then draw the border, draw the border, and then for the second line we use 3 4, that means 0.75. So this is the style for the table. This is how it looks like. So if I show you a table maybe in page 22, yeah, if you see this table, this is it. It's having one and a half thickness here and then here, and this is 3 by 4, which is 0.75. And the text inside should be 0.75, 10.5 times New Roman, and this not bold, just normal text. So this is about table. If you later face problem, you can of course message in the WeChat group. So we know how to format equation, how to make a three-line table. Now we'll see how to format picture. So for the picture, actually it's same. We first need to be careful about the figure caption. It's very important. The first number is your chapter number and the second number is the figure number in that chapter. So let's say this is the third picture in chapter 2. That's why it's 2.3 and then the name of picture. And depending on your supervisor, it might be changed like figure or fig, depending on that. Okay. And now we see how to upload picture properly. If you are uploading one picture, that's fine, but if you are uploading more than one picture, sometimes you need to upload two pictures side by side, right? So in that case, you make a table like this with two rows and two columns like this. So and then you place your cursor inside and then upload picture. Let me find two picture. Let me find two picture from some random picture. Okay, this is our first picture, and then resize it to maybe some small size so that we can fit both of them, maybe a little more small. Okay, and then we need the second picture. Most of the time actually you use side by side for graphs and then some maybe finite element analysis simulation, something like that. So I place two random satellite picture. Okay, and then we just make them small enough so that they fit together. And now you bring them in center. This is basically the core format, and then you make it merge so that you can write you remember figure caption. So let's say this is figure 1.1 in first chapter, and then write satellite, and then you bring it center. It should be bold. I guess it should be bold times New Roman and 10.5. So this is the basic thing, and then after that you hide the borders of the table. No border. This is how it should look like when you are using two figures side by side. The easiest way. So I hope you can also practice this thing, like how to upload the equations and format them correctly, how to make the three-line table, and what should the format of the text inside, as well as for the figure, how you should write the captions, and how you should place the pictures. So that's all for this lecture, and in the next lecture we'll talk very important things, how to place the references, which most of you make mistake, and it becomes very boring if you don't know how to use certain software. So in the next lecture we'll talk about this software which I basically use, Zotero, and it's open source, so it's free. So we'll use Zotero, and then we'll see how to reference using this style, Chinese style. Till then, I think stay safe.